E-commerce is definitely something that's new to the watch industry, especially the luxury watch industry. So most of the luxury watch brands themselves just last year started experimenting with e-commerce, wondering, can we sell a luxury item online? And there's a couple of different things going on here. Generally, this is an industry where that item is generally discounted at retail. So the difference is when you sell something online, especially direct to consumer from your own brand, you're really doing that with no discounts available. So you're hoping that consumer is going to want that item enough to avoid going into the store and buying it direct with no discount. So that's a big hurdle, and it seems like it's working.
In footwear, it's a more mature industry. So 30% of the sales are now coming from e-commerce. And because it's more mature, growth has slowed, but it's still in the mid-single digits per year. So it continues to inch up. And the penetration does differ by category. It's interesting because some of the categories that are a little bit more performance driven, like performance, athletic, or outdoor, are a little bit more highly penetrated online, and that may be because there's brand loyalty and consumers kind of know what they like there. The fashion category is a little bit under-penetrated, but not by much, and that continues to grow. We see kids' footwear really growing in this space as well. It's been one of the lowest penetration. But as consumers become more accustomed to buying almost everything online now, and they're time-strapped and they're running around with the families, maybe one of the things that gets cut is taking the kids shoe shopping. So retailers are starting to make it easier, and there's a number of technologies out there that are helping consumers to better size kids' feet so that that might make sure you get the sizing right and eliminate returns.
We're actually seeing watch makers, manufacturers creating product with that direct-to-consumer in mind. So we're seeing major luxury watch brands creating do-it-yourself kind of adjustable, sizable watches, getting ready for that direct-to-consumer who's coming. So generally, buying a luxury watch, you're in a jewelry store, and once you buy the watch, it's all part of that experience of you purchase the watch, then it goes back to the watchmaker to take out links out of that bracelet, whether it's steel or gold or platinum. It's all part of that luxury experience. So now to see luxury watch brands gearing up with a no-tool adjustable watch for that in-home consumer that may never want or need to go into the watch store, to have that watchmaker adjust their watch is a big deal. It's something we haven't seen before.
In accessories, the business varies by category. E-commerce growth has actually been a little bit stifled there for the last couple of years because accessories is such an impulse category, and even though retailers and brands have tried to increase impulse purchasing online by showing you what you might want to pair that item with, or consumers that bought this also bought this, it still is hard to beat that. When you're in store, you might see something, or when you're waiting to check out. Think about some of the beauty retailers like Sephora. When you're waiting on that line, you could pick up 10 more things. So it's hard to recreate that online. But what's happening is a lot more innovation. So as the technology becomes better, and you can see more views, and you can see videos that show you what the item can be used for, the videos that show you everything that can be packed in the bag in a 10-second time-lapse video, that's really helped the business. And actually, maybe surprising, luggage has actually been one of the fastest growing categories online, and that's partly the reason.
Innovation's a little bit different with luxury watches, because if you think about the Swiss luxury watch brands, they've been around for so long, they're so slow to change, but innovation really is a way for them to showcase what they can do technologically. So it's kind of like the car industry with concept cars, where those cars that at car shows may not be available ever to the public, right. But watch brands are constantly every year showcasing what they can do, whether it's a more complicated movement like a double tourbillon, or innovative case materials like carbon fiber. This year, extra thinness was a big one. So one watchmaker in particular came out with a watch that was only 2.5 millimeters thick, including that mechanical movement with several hundred parts in there. So it's exciting to see every year what the watchmakers come out with.
So e-commerce continues to grow, and we see more online buyers buying footwear online. We know that from our checkout tracking service. We saw footwear buyers buying online more frequently, And despite the fact that they spent a little less on each purchase, their average online spend was up because of that increased purchase frequency. And so we do think that there still is headroom in the e-commerce space for footwear because it's continuing to attract new buyers.
Buying a watch is so experiential. It's such a, every watch has a story, and a lot of times the story is, where did you buy the watch? How did you buy the watch? What was it like? So now that watch brands themselves are getting involved in direct-to-consumer, they're treading a fine line because they're so historically reliant upon their wholesale partners, where you need those foot soldiers, those salespeople on the ground to help you try on the watch, see how it feels, how does it make you feel. So it's something different that is such a new phenomenon that we're seeing with the watch industry, especially luxury watches.